Hi, it's Mrs. Wetzel, and today I'd like to talk to you about your biology grade and how you can figure out what kind of a grade you're going to get in biology. What I've demonstrated for you here is some of the what a typical unit will look like in this class. So for each unit, and we have 9 of them all together, you have your unit overview and your unit vocabulary. These are all approximate grades. Some of the overviews are worth more points, some are less, some of the vocab is worth more points, some is less, but these are approximately how many points each of these assignments are worth. So the overview is around 60 points and the vocab is around 30 points. The labs that we do for each unit are approximately 20 points each. The vocabulary quizzes that we have for each unit is approximately 30 points, and then your exam is around 80 points. The average amount of points you can earn for the unit is 250 points. And then your enrichment project could be an additional 20 points. You can't do the enrichment project until you've done the actual work for class though. So one possible score you could get, we're going to take a look at a couple different scenarios here. Student number 1 does their whole overview. They use their class time wisely. They keep up to date, up to track on their notes. They're making sure that they have everything in their overview complete. Anything that wasn't finished in class, they finish for homework or during a study hall or something like that. This student also did their entire vocabulary packet. They filled in all the boxes, so they got full credit, and they took advantage of the fact that I give you lots of time in class to get this stuff done. They came to class and participated in the laboratory activities, made sure that they put their names on their assignment and turned them in, so they got full credit on their labs. They used their overview and they used their vocabulary packet to complete their vocabulary quiz, because the quizzes are open note, so they got a perfect on their quiz. And they struggle with taking a test, so they didn't do great on their test, but they did okay. That student received a 92% for all of their unit work, and since they did have everything completed, they did the extra credit project, which was 20 points, and they ended up with a 100% at the end of the unit. So it's really not that hard to get an A in biology if you're using your time effectively in class and getting all of your work done. Even if you don't score a perfect on the exam, you could still get a 100% in biology class. Let's look at another scenario here. Student number 2 doesn't use their time as wisely in class, so they only have about half of their overview finished. They did do their vocab, because the vocab is worth a lot of points and it's pretty easy points. They come to class regularly, participate in labs, so they got full credit on their lab. They still got a 30 out of 30 on their vocab quiz, but because they didn't use their time as effectively in class, they weren't sure about some stuff, maybe they skipped the study guide or something like that, they only got a 40 on the test. This student ended up with a 68% in biology. So they didn't take advantage of some of the easier points that can be earned by completing the entire overview. That drops your grade significantly, because when you don't do your overview, you don't know the content, you don't do as well on the test. So they're still passing, but with a 68%. Keep that in mind when you turn things in that aren't completely finished. You're losing easy points, and that can dramatically affect your grade. This person's also not eligible to do an enrichment project. Let's look at person number 3. And this is sad, but this does happen pretty frequently. This person lost their overview and then only did like 1 or 2 pages when they got another overview. They didn't completely finish it. They didn't turn in their vocab, or they only did partial vocab, like they wrote the definitions but didn't finish anything else, so I wasn't able to give them full credit. They were a distraction during lab and they didn't actually help their group, so they didn't get full credit on the lab. Because they didn't have their vocab finished, they got a 20 out of 30 on the vocabulary quiz, and they ended up getting a 30 on the test because they just didn't have anything prepared for this unit. This person ended up with a 32% in class, and these are real case scenarios. This happens pretty frequently when you don't take advantage of the easy points that you can earn by completing your overview, using your time effectively in class, and completing your vocab. And then our fourth student is also another scenario where we've got a person who's like, I always do well on tests. I have to warn you, that's probably not going to be the case here because the content in biology isn't something you can just wing. There's a lot of vocabulary involved, which is why I spend so much time going over vocab with you. But they didn't turn in their overview, they don't turn in their vocab. They do come to school regularly and do their labs and take their quizzes. And they're just like naturally smart, so they do okay on the tests. And this person ended up with a 64%. But that's a really, really unlikely scenario. But I know that in some classes you can kind of skate by doing well on the tests, even if you don't do other stuff. And I wanted to show you what that might look like numerically in this class. So I really wanted to break this down for you so you have an understanding of how your grade is calculated in this class, and so that hopefully you understand how important it is to make sure that your overview and your vocab are complete, because these really are the keys to your success in this class. All right, if you have any questions about any of these things, please let me know. And I hope this was helpful and valuable for you.